my name is Vickie Owen. I'm a crime prevention specialist with the Gilbert Police Department. Here to talk to you today about proper DNA collection during a child identification event. Not only are we going to talk about a proper DNA collection, which means getting a sample that's not contaminated, we're also going to talk about the handling of it as well as the storage of it.
And my name is Amir Hophider. I'm a forensic biologist by trade. I work for the University of Arizona as well as the Human Origins Genotyping Laboratory in Tucson. So I've done some DNA extraction as well as DNA collection and proper ways of doing that. And that's what I'm going to talk about today as well.
Excellent. Thanks, Amir. Thanks
You're
so
welcome.
much.
No problem.
Okay, so let's talk about, Amir, let's talk about some of the things that we have on the desk here today and taking a DNA collection, what they're used for.
Absolutely. Some of the basic items you want to have for your collection process is release and seal envelopes. You don't want something that you lick because it'll go ahead and contaminate the DNA sample. So release and seal or self-seal envelopes work really well. Something like Lysol or disinfecting, something that will clean the area, and you'll want to do that periodically between sample taking. A mask, because you don't want to breathe on the sample, because that will also contaminate the product. So you can get those from Lowe's, Home Depot, or anywhere that you think of. Synthetic vinyl examination gloves work really well because some kids have an allergy to latex, and to eliminate that risk, using synthetic or vinyl gloves work really well. And what we have here is our DNA collection kit.
And Amir, why don't you tell us for a moment, I know that the collection is really important, but the storage and making sure as law enforcement that if parents need to give that to us, that law enforcement knows that this sample has not been contaminated.
Right.
What do you have for that?
Absolutely. Something that kind of will help with that so that you can see that the seal hasn't been broken or been re-enveloped is that having a label that says on there, like this one does, DNA sample enclosed, do not open, will contaminate sample if you do. This lets the law enforcement officials know that this is an uncontaminated sample of DNA and it's sterile. So,
excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to go ahead and show you how to do a DNA sample here. Amir's going to do that for us.
Sure, absolutely. All right, what you want to start off with is you want to go ahead and clean the area. So we're going to assume that this area is clean, but I've just cleaned it right now. At this point, you want to go ahead and, before you even get to the cleaning, you want to do a couple of things. You want to put gloves on first, clean the area, and then take gloves, put new gloves on, and put your mask on, get that ready. Now, for this demonstration purposes, I'm not going to wear a mask so that I can talk and that it doesn't sound muffled through the mask. You want to have your supplies ready, your envelope, your kit, everything, so that you don't have to sit there and fiddle and touch too many things. So let's put our gloves on. Okay, when it comes to collecting DNA, one thing you want to do is, since we're taking it from a child, we want to make sure that they haven't eaten for the previous 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour, but 30 minutes is good enough. The reason being is just because when you eat foods, there's going to be DNA from the meat or whatever that you ate that's going to go ahead and stick to your cheek inside. And when you swab that, you're going to get remnants in the sample, and that could alter the profile when it's needed to be extracted anyways. So try not to eat or drink anything for the previous 30 minutes. Other than that, when it comes to collection, also you don't want to brush your teeth either. Again, the same thing. Brushing your teeth will go ahead and actually, the cells that have collected inside your cheeks and on top of your gums, those will also be washed away. So since we want to get the maximum amount of DNA on the swab, it's important to go ahead and make sure that you haven't brushed your teeth, you haven't eaten anything in the last 30 minutes, or eaten or drink.
You know, a lot of times in these child ID events, we get asked a question from the parent because the child might be misbehaving or what have you, if they can go ahead and do the collection themselves while they're there at that event. What do you recommend in this case? Is that okay?
I don't recommend that. I think it's best for the technician or the person that's actually trained to collect the DNA to do so instead of the parent.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. All right, great. Go ahead.
All right, let's go ahead and open our kit. When you open the kit, it's important to go ahead and make sure that you touch the bottom of the kit, even though it's closed right now. Again, we're just doing everything we can to limit contamination. So when it comes to opening, again, hold the base of the cap, go ahead and push through with your other hand, and that opens it at the top. So you can give as much leverage as you want for yourself, but just like that's good enough. Now when it comes to swabbing inside the cheek, what we're going to do is we're going to swab inside the cheek, and we're going to go ahead and also go to the fold of the cheek line as well and swab there. Now, swabbing for about 15 seconds or 5 strokes. I think 5 strokes is what we're going to go with. is good enough to get you a good sample on your swab. Okay? Go and open your mouth. Now you want to go ahead and swab somewhat vigorously. You don't want to hurt the person or the child, but you want to make sure that you get a really good swab on there. Okay, so there we go. Now when closing it, it's that simple. Okay? After we've closed our cap, we're going to go ahead and take our envelope. Again, we're going to use a self-sealing envelope because we don't want to lick the envelope. If the stick is too long for the envelope, we're just going to go ahead and break it off. And just to demonstrate, I'm going to do just that. Another thing is it's also important to keep with your envelope the instructions of how you collected this DNA sample. Were someone to come across this kit that you handed off to, it's important for them to understand exactly how it was collected, whether it was ambient or not. And then once that's sealed, then we want to go ahead and put the label on there and label it shut so that, again, you know what this is.
Great, that was super simple. And also, you know, we're going to have the instructions that you can use and print off for use inside of your kits as well to show how the collection was made on the ACPA website at www.acpa.net. Feel free to go in there, and under the child identification tab you can get this form on a PDF downloaded so that you can use it in your kits as well. And thanks so much, Amir.
Hey, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I
really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Again, contaminating it. You want labels to label the envelope. So again, that's for labeling of the envelope. Synthetic vinyl gloves, not latex gloves. Because let's do that again. Sorry, label because that's a label. Yeah, should they know that?
A label, because labeling is labeling,
Yeah.
and that's a label.
And that's a label. Okay. Absolutely. Gosh, we can do this. It went
See,
from
we're
being
going
easy to
from
hard.
this to now we can only get out like 3 words.
Yeah. Select myself.
It's missing.
No,
It's totally gone.
it's gone.